Identity family will back again on the AfricaUnity platform. My name is KingIdris and I'm here to give you guys the new insight on what is going on the home ground in Africa and international community. And today my people will be talking about the Nigeria Naira and the Ghana cedis, their position in world economy and their position among the world currencies. And the two currencies have been nominated and have been depreciated down to be one of the worst currencies coming out of Africa in this year 2022. So my people, the Nigerian Naira and the Ghana cedis have been ranked as the world two worst performing currencies out of Africa, with the Nigerian Naira currency losing 37% of its values to the American dollar, and the Ghana cedis losing close to 55% of its values to the dollar, to the American dollar. So my people, this comes with a lot of issues in Nigeria, because the Nigerian government have already regulated Nigeria in the market price to the parallel level, to a very high-rated price to be able to fight against the inflation in Nigeria and the debt and all the economic issue in Nigeria. And in 2001, the Nigerian CBN Bank have already banned the Bureau de Change, the BDC, that helps people in getting money. People that can't get money out from the CBN, they go to the Bureau de Change operators in Nigeria. They have them in enormous places in Nigeria, like so many in the prominent streets out of Nigeria, like you're talking of Ikeja, anywhere you talked about in Nigeria, like the prominent cities in Nigeria, you see the Bureau de Change operators, whereby the Bank of Nigeria and the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, have already put out this ban on these Bureau de Change operators, because they feel that the one affecting the Nigerian currency. And a lot too comes up with this Nigerian issue with Nigerian Naira currency, because Nigeria now have low revenue in terms of oil, in crude oil, whereby Nigeria is being recognized as one of the higher producers of crude oil out of Africa. But they're now returning, and Nigerian government is now recording a low income in oil revenue in Nigeria. It's been coming up by times, by day, and a lot of issues have been coming out through the oil sectors in Nigeria, like OPEC, Shell, and everything that is going on in the oil sectors in Nigeria. And the other things that is affecting the Nigerian currency, according to Nigerian CBN Bank, is the upcoming, uncertain election that will be coming up in 2023, the Nigeria National Race election that will be coming up. A lot is coming up in Nigeria, and with the fast population, enormous influx of Western capital being squeezed up on the Nigerian economy. According to my research, while the Nigerian Naira note was performing pretty well against the dollar at the official market rate, the country currencies was being falling gradually closely to the 37% at the parallel market rate. So while Nigerian currency was doing fine in the official market rate, it was falling deeply, gradually through the parallel market rate, so making the Nigerian Naira the second worst performing currency out of the shore of Africa, that follows the Ghana cedis. So although the Nigerian government officially have looked for a way to fight this inflation and economic issue in Nigeria by regulating the Nigerian official exchange rate strictly, they regulated this strictly at the black market level. The value of the Nigerian national currency is largely determined by the strictly regulation at the black market level against the circulation of dollars in Nigeria, because the more you have demand in dollar, the more the Nigerian currency or the country currency will be going down. So this comes with a lot. Nigeria have high importation and they have limited exportation, and the high inflation in Nigerian economy is a pandemic that have been happening gradually for a very long time. So this really affect the Nigerian currency bitterly through the debt, the low income of oil revenue, because before Nigeria was generating gigantic income out of the crude oil, but now they generated a very low income in the oil revenue, and the inflation in the country due to the enormous population in the country and the forthcoming 2023 Nigerian presidential election too is affecting Nigeria Naira. Nigeria Naira was one of the powerful currency out of Africa. So my people, in October of this year 2022, the Ghana cedis was being rated as one of the worst currency out of Africa. The Ghana currency fall really hard in October of 2022 and was being categorized and being ranked as the #1 worst performing currency in the shore of Africa and West Africa, and followed by the Nigerian Naira. This comes with a lot of debt that the Ghana government they are fighting every day. It's not even in this era of the new president. Debt have been looming up from the previous president in Ghana, and it's been the fight of the day for the president in Ghana, President Akufo-Addo Dankwa. This really affect the Ghana economy because the debt is really looming high, and the Ghana government is really fighting by introducing a lot of opportunities to people, to investors, and to other businesses associates out of Africa and in all of America and in the United Kingdom, to bring a lot of people down to Ghana, for businesses opportunities to assist the government of the day in Ghana and to assist Ghana economy. But the inflation in Ghana and the debt that is coming up in Ghana economy due to a lot of the ongoing issue around the world, like the war in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, because there's a lot of opportunities that Ghana benefited in regulate the economic issue in the country by welcoming a lot of prominent businessmen, athletics, entertainers, business people into the country to support the country economy. But the two currencies coming out of West Africa is being ranked as the worst performing currency on the shore of Africa and in the world, because of high inflation and debt that is going on in these two countries. Nigerian government and the CBN bank governor Emefiele have already came out with a lot of innovation to curb the high inflation in Nigeria and to fight against a lot of the issues in the economic of Nigeria, by banning the bureau de change operators, in 2021, in trying to curb the inflation in Nigerian currency. The bureau de change operators are the people that help people get their currency, people that can go to the CBN banks or to the banks to get the money. The bureau de change operators, which are almost and basically being run by most of the people from the northern side of Nigeria. So these people are out of job by fighting against the inflation issue in Nigeria and debt issue that is coming up in Nigeria. But the Ghana inflation, and the reason why the Ghana cedis is being rated and ranked as one of the worst performing currency out of Africa, is because of the debt in Ghana and the debt that the Ghana government are fighting against, that is not even with the president of the day, is been looming up in Ghana for a long period of time. So these two currency out of Africa, one was one of the most recognized currency out of Africa with enormous history in African economies and assisting the African countries, the neighboring countries in Africa. You know, Nigeria have been in this for a long time, fighting and to keep the Nigerian currency back to the normal standard it was in the early days. And the Ghana government have been fighting this issue for a long time, you know, to put the economy back to normal. But this really comes down to this, and it has really fallen down in October of 2022, while the two currencies out of West Africa have been ranked as the worst performing currency out of Africa. On my platform, it's all about unity, it's all about togetherness, it's all about greatness, it's all for the betterment of Africa and to put African history on the proper realm. So I'll be saying the Nigerian government and the Ghana government should do a better work in putting this economic issue, debt issue, inflation issue, settlement realm. They should find a way to settle all this issue, because a lot of people are really complaining. We can see the citizens of Ghana really coming out, protesting, complaining. Year after year, they've been complaining, they've been protesting. And we can see a lot that is going on in Nigeria too, by Nigerian citizens coming out and protesting, complaining. We can see the NSAS movement, the Osoke movement, the Obedient movement, and most of the youth are even talking out now. Most of the businesses in Africa should help the youth get better job, and the government of Ghana is really doing a better job by foreign investors down to Ghana, and the Nigerian government are doing their own work too by redesigning Nigerian currency to put it back to the normal realm it is in the Africa economic realm. So my people, this is what we're talking about on AfricaUnitytv TV with King Idris. I'm just here to give you guys the new insight on what is going on about the African currency on the West African shore. That this is what is going on. Our government need to do a better job, because the high inflation in dollar against the African currency is very huge. The more the demand in dollar is going high in circulation in these African countries, the more the power of the dollar will be going high against this currency on the shore of Africa. So my people, our government need to do a better job for a better future in Africa. I'm just coming out to give you guys the quick insight on our currency in Africa between the Nigerian Naira and the Ghana cedis, you know, their position in the world and what is going on in the Nigeria and Ghana African economy. So my people, I'll be coming back with other content on the AfricaUnity platform. It's all about unity, it's all about togetherness, it's all about oneness, unity over division. Thank you, my people. Thank you.